Welcome back to Winning Isn't Easy. Let's talk about policy limitations, mental health limitations, and subjective condition limitations, and how that can impact your benefit amounts. Now, even with strong medical evidence, policy limitations can impact your claim. And I'm going to start with mental health. Many disability policies or plans have mental nervous policy or plan limitations. And there are two versions. The first says that if your disability is caused by mental health condition, benefits are limited to just 2 years. The second and more restrictive one is the one I call the Monty Python standard of mental nervous disability claims. It's much more restrictive. And what it says is, look, if the disability is caused, and this is the key, or contributed to, regardless of how small, that wafer thin contribution, if there's that contribution by a mental health condition, benefits are limited to just 2 years. And that distinction is huge. So under the second type, even if your disabling condition is primarily physical, if depression, anxiety, or another mental health issues contributes, regardless of how small, to your inability to work, your benefits end after 2 years. Now, there's another policy trap, and that's called the subjective medical condition clause. Not all disability policies or plans will have this, but that's one of the things that I'm looking for when I'm doing a policy or plan review. This nasty subjective medical condition clause allows insurers to exclude conditions they argue can't be proven by objective evidence. And in this subjective medical condition limitation, there will be a laundry list of conditions that they say we consider to be subjective. And if we see these, benefits are limited to just 2 years, if that in fact is the cause of your disability. So examples can include migraines, fibromyalgia, chronic pain, muscle spasm without nerve involvement. As I said, there's just a laundry list. If your plan has these limitations, these conditions may not count when your claim shifts to any occupation stage. And then they'll start cherry picking. Well, they'll say, this one, you got migraines, that's out. You got fibromyalgia, that's out. You have a herniated disc, but you've had surgery. And there's no evidence based on the post-operative scans or EMG that you have any nerve involvement. That condition is out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you can see that this can impact the value of your claim because benefits are limited to just 2 years if any one of those policy limitations or plan limitations are applicable. Now, I also get asked, if I have more than one disabling condition, does that benefit amount increase? Now, I know that some in our audience are veterans and they may be collecting VA benefits. And long-term disability is not like the VA system where each condition adds to the compensation. In other words, they're given a rating and you can add the ratings together. Ultimately, if you have 100% disability, you're going to be paid 100% benefits. That's not how it works here. There is no impairment rating schedule, and you can't stack multiple disabling conditions to get more money. Again, in the VA system, you can stack and get more money. In the context of a long-term disability case, your monthly benefit is fixed at based on the percentage of the income benefits that you selected when you bought your policy or enrolled in the plan. So in other words, it might be that you've bought a policy that will pay 60% of your base wage. That's what you're going to get unless you bought what's called a buy-up provision in your policy that allows you to increase the amount of your benefits at certain regular intervals. Of course, you've got to pay an additional premium. Now, the one thing you might see is a cost of living adjustment, a COLA, much like the COLAs that you've heard about in Social Security cases, but not every disability policy or plan has these provisions. Now, another common question I get is, look, if my medical condition gets worse, do my benefits go up? And again, the answer is no. Your benefits amount is going to stay the same regardless of whether your health deteriorates or whether you develop new conditions. Now, worsening health might help you prove that you remain disabled, but it's not going to increase your monthly check. So that's why it's really important that before you stop work and apply for benefits, you understand the policy or plan language. What is the definition of disability? What's the definition of occupation? How long are any occupation benefits? Is there an elimination period which is a period that you have to be disabled, but you aren't going to get benefits. Do I have long-term disability benefits? To what point in time? Based on the policy, is it to age 65, age 67? Are there limitations in what I can get based on mental health policy limitations or subjective medical condition limitations? And are there offsets? An offset such as the receipt of Social Security disability benefits. You need to understand all of this before you stop work and apply for benefits, because in my view, the strategy starts just before you stop work and apply for benefits. It's a little hard to get bad news after you've applied for benefits and learn that your benefits may be limited to just 2 years because you have fibromyalgia. Obviously, you want to have done some financial planning before you stop work and apply for benefits, knowing that your benefits would stop in just 2 years. Got it? Let's take a break.
Are you a professional with questions about your individual disability policy? You need the Disability Insurance Claim Survival Guide for Professionals. This book gives you a comprehensive understanding of your disability policy with tips and to-dos that will assist you in submitting a winning disability application. This is one you don't want to miss. For the next 24 hours, we are giving away free copies of the Disability Insurance Claim Survival Guide for Professionals. Order yours today at disabilityclaimsforprofessionals.com.